Hello everybody, this is Loki and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the trial. See where it takes us. Good morning! Oh. Are you by yourself? Morning, Pearls. Mr. Neck, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya. I'm sorry. We don't know anything yet. Investigation's still going on and I still wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick lots in the training hall? No, she's in the defendant in this case. So she can't be in the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. So you're looking for Iris? She's in the prosecutor's lobby. What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Francisca von Trauma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Godo. I'll call it here now. It's Godo. Who else would it be but Godo? Yeah, I do it. Francisca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She had been out there all night trying to remove those trick lots. With the head dun's assistant, naturally. We estimated that the last of the lots should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly, and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godo intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your code on to someone else, literally. And with that, I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Yeah, Edgeworth's like really nice today. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise. No, I mean Misty Faye. Possible flight of Larry claimed to have seen. And what that woman was really after. That's why I'd like to know. Was she really after? I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to the end. Man. Why would you like get rid of your own flesh and blood? Your own family? Just to rise to the top. Like, for example, like, if I had a family member who does YouTube, what they do, like, if they do better than I would at YouTube or something, I don't even mind. I would be rooting for them, to be honest. So, that's what the aunt should have done. She should have rooted for her family and not dragged them down. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hezekiah Temple. Your Honor. What are you? Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. That explains his weird behavior. My poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. I agree. Wise words right there. I find that to be true. That's precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty to passing such judgment. Well said. That's exactly what I said, like, well said. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end anyways. Now then, Mr. Ghetto, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies in the bottom of this mug. So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazagir Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Seriously? Iris? Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. The court will now hear the defendant's confession. See how many are there. There's like 4 here, so in case if I cut this in pieces, it's because due to my recording sometimes is off. So sometimes it adds up. That's why I'm doing it in parts, like pieces. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask her for her name and profession. That's one of my roles. My name is Iris. But a simple nun undergoing training as Hazagir Temple. What is this something you want to confess to? Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit, I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you're the one who murdered Miss Elise? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazagir Temple courtyard where I discredited I can't even say that word. If you guys know how to say that one word that she said, feel free to correct me. Feel free to like let me know how it's pronounced. You guys are free to. If you guys notice that I have a hard time saying a word, feel free to say it in the comments on how it's pronounced. Like I'm good at like pronouncing a lot of words, but like really hard words I never heard before, like that one. Order in the court. What is? Are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes in torn and no more recovered in the cold sweat. Huh. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happened to be that in this case, it's to murder. Ah, that's true. Everyone's an accomplice to something. Sometimes, like, you could be an accomplice to, like, murder. You could be, like, an accomplice in doing, like, artistic stuff, etc. Accomplice to anything. Isn't that right, Trite? That Kyoto. So this is the confession they were conferring about. That pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering up for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple was run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. Sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need to be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean family, Kandik. Mystic Maya. Huh? He's like, what? Wake up and smell the coffee, try it. She's naming Maya? Order! Order in the court! So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? I'm terribly sorry, but true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. Oh, that's ridiculous. Maya can never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor? I thought I was prepared for that unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going this direction. Me neither. I went to the inner temple that night and saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So it was in self-defense? Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. Well, that's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You got the instinct of a true criminal. Something not right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. That everything got a dark turn, didn't it? Okay, I have to press on the third statement. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached in a robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And Elise tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris' testimony? It's one thing. Your Honor? I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just wait a moment. That's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Ugh. Okay. Now, let's continue. Put them staff. Okay, I'm gonna have to present the staff now. Objection! Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Elise was throwing her staff away. Makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with a staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise really wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. That's true. There's a point. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? How many coffees can you down? That was an impressive bit of investigating, right? I would never thought that there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarter combat. Maybe that's why she chose the dagger of her blade. Yeah, that's a good point right there. That's a way good point. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. Defense will not present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that showed that this testimony cannot be trusted. Miss Elise. Okay, she would never do it because... Let's see. Elise would never attack Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise. Her real name was Misty Fey. No! Not Mystic Misty Fey! Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to... Misty Fey is the master of the current channeling technique. She's also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Is that really true, Mr. Wright? Was it Elise actually the great Mystic Misty? Yes, she was. There's no doubt about it. It looked like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution offers some explanation why she would do such a thing? Yeah, why? Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battled to the death for mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little thing, possible thing? Huh. You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken my first sip of my 8th cup of coffee this morning. That's a lot of coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. That's true! This is exactly what I was thinking! Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who lived to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he also discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testifying to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you know something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree when the last blow was struck, and in a violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown into the direction of the back of the pine tree, which means the blood on the dagger belonged to the victim, correct? Huh. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup. I thought it was 8th cup. Did he just say that it was the 8th cup? You guys saw that, right? Didn't you say it was your 8th cup? Exactly! Exactly! I thought it was his 8th. He said it was his 8th, and now he changed it to 13th. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I'll order a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. And now then, the testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie. Ever. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. I did a screenshot where I'm at. My phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button below. And subscribe for more videos to come. See you guys later. Bye guys.